Could the Jalen Nailor replacement be in the undrafted free agent class? Welcome to the Locked On Vikings podcast.
You are Locked On Vikings, your daily Minnesota Vikings podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Locked On Vikings podcast, where we're always trying to learn something new. And today, we're going to learn about some undrafted free agents. I've got Mr. Small School, Kevin Fielder, Mr. Special Teams. He's built for this, to talk about North Texas corners and their ability on the kickoff team. We're going to get into the punter battle. We're going to get into some of your favorites. We are going to have at least 5 words for every single one of these undrafted free agents. So if you want to know who's in the class, what their deal is, you have come to the right place. Welcome in, Kevin. Welcome to Locked On Vikings. Well, welcome back to Locked On Vikings. Let's start with the guy that we teased right at the beginning. So there is not a wide receiver 3 on the roster right now, unless you believe very hard in Ty Felton or Miles Price's ability to take a step forward. However, there's some undrafted receivers. There's some guys. The maybe closest one to draftable. There isn't like a Dwight McGlothern or an Ivan Pace in this class that was like, oh, that guy should have been in the 4th round. But the closest thing to that is Dillon Bell. So what do I need to know about Dillon Bell, the wide receiver out of Georgia?
This was one of the toughest watches for me in terms of evaluating these UDFAs because I went back,
Georgia and it's like a bunch of Fugazi nonsense because they're.
But I also went back and
after dark
watched 2023 and 2024 Dillon Bell because I've heard that's the Dillon Bell people need to watch.
Got it.
It's awesome.
Carson Beck years?
Yes. So he's really good under Carson Beck, and then Carson Beck obviously transfers to Miami. Dillon Bell stays at Georgia. The 2025 film is not as good. And I think that's part of the reason why he didn't get drafted. It's just truthfully the 2025 film is not as good as the 2024 and 2023 film. And
why? Like, what if he's doing like a bunch of short routes? Is it just that nothing stands out because it's a bunch of short routes, or is there like something wrong with him on a bubble screen?
So I wonder, and this is me speculating, not as much as me like having a source here. My speculation is they added Zachariah Branch, who in and of himself, Zachariah Branch is a touch. You got to get the ball in his hands kind of guy. Most college offenses can't have to get the ball in his hands and just kind of let him make plays and jet sweeps and screens. And so I wonder if the addition of Branch kind of limits what Bell was. The truth is, this is a guy who needs the ball in his hands. I have in my notes here, kind of plays like Deebo Samuel if Deebo Samuel was like not as good at football.
For an undrafted guy, I don't know.
We do the comp for Deebo Samuel a lot because like big, tall, physical receiver. Maybe he's Deebo Samuel. This guy is like what I think if you like asked AI to build Deebo Samuel, this is what they build.
If you asked AI to build Deebo Samuel.
I think that's kind of where he's best because his route running is like just so vanilla. Like it's like high school, like freshman year of college.
Get to a spot, turn around.
And get to a spot, like kind of cut.
Nothing on it. No sauce.
Kind of cut, like banana a little bit. Like
chicken breast route.
He'll get to the spot. It'll just like not be the cleanest route. But the athleticism, the separation late in routes, the athleticism, it's all there. He needs a runway. He's not going to be like a 4-for-3 burner, right? Just like go down the field really fast. But when he gets that runway, he's incredibly gifted athletically. And so I think that there's a spot in the Brandon Powell role as a returner. And then on offense as like a gadget, we're going to give you 5 touches a game just to see if you can make a play kind of thing.
Maybe a guy who can give Miles Price a run for his money. I just got done with Locked On Vikings After Dark as we're recording this, so it's like fresh in my mind. We talked about Miles Price, and he had some ball security issues. Well, if that shows up in camp or the preseason, suddenly the job's wide open, and maybe Dillon Bell could be the guy that takes it. But Kevin, I mean, you follow the Dolphins, so in case you aren't 1,000,000% familiar with the construction of the Vikings roster right now, there are 4 chalk receivers that made the team last year. And the next guy is maybe like Jay-Sean Jones, who was an undrafted dude last year. So it is wide open if Dillon Bell can like catch a bubble screen and show some juice. The problem might be that that's not like a preseason play call you see a lot. Like they'll want to call a lot more of like staples and sort of like warm up stuff. You're not going to get manufactured preseason touches because that doesn't help a lot of people. But if he can do a little something with it after the catch, maybe you can get that. But I do want to move on to the next guy that you put on your list here of guys that you wanted to go a little bit further in depth on, which is it's time to talk punters. So Brett Thorson is somebody I've been waiting to talk to you. I've been waiting for you to get your idea on him. I've been really excited to talk to you about him because there's kind of two facets to this, right? There's punting and holding. And how he is as a punter is one thing, but let's start with how is this guy as a holder? Because the Vikings have Johnny Hekker, who is not a good punter, but is an incredible holder. And holding is the thing you can't screw up. You can be a great punter, but if you can't hold, you're not getting the job. So especially if there's a guy in the building who can hold and gives you whatever punting, that gives you like this very safe option. So you have to be able to go bar for bar with Johnny Hekker as a holder. Do you think that Brett Thorson can do that?
It's tough. So on college film, there's only 10 holds I can go off of, and they're all extra point. 5 of them are from 2022. And so if we just use like kind of simple math and logic here, who you are in 2022 is not who you are in 2026. I could speak from experience there. I had to go through like Tua Tagovailoa
that I would like to forget.
Well, I had to go through Tua Tagovailoa years, and so Tua changes a man.
Oh, that does change a man. Yeah.
Yeah, but like also, right, like as a football player, you're not the same holder that you were in 2022.
Right.
And I think a lot of it was probably just giving him opportunities to get game reps in it because he's an Australian punter who comes from Australia. They don't practice holding there. They get you ready to punt because that's what you're going to have to do in college to get a job. And so he's a really solid punter, but in holding, I think the biggest thing is there's a lot of times where it was laces in, and it's not an issue on extra points. That's an issue once you get past about 35 yards. If you have laces in, it's going to lead to wild kicks, and there were quite a few.
We are very aware.
Yeah, and so now imagine, like, I think of the 5 reps in 2022, I think 3 of them were laces in, and now, to the kicker's credit,
laces in. Are you talking like Jeff Locke on the Blair Walsh kick? Laces like
yes, like laces fully
like
in,
hitting the foot, like not in toward the holder where it's just like sideways.
I had end zone view, and so I'm looking from like the goalpost down on the all 22. I see all brown.
Oh, from the other side. Okay.
Yeah, from the
laces very not where they're supposed to.
I see all brown, and so it's bad. Now, a lot of punters, what they'll do when they know they're draft eligible is like. The work in the offseason before the draft is not athleticism. It's not even punting. It's just, hey, we're going to send you to the woods and you're going to learn how to hold from this former NFL punter who's got nothing better to do. And you're going to become really good at holding. And so maybe he comes into training camp and is a good holder, but right now, it's not very good.
Should I go to Huntington Beach and vote against Chris Cluey so he doesn't have anything to do and he can go teach this guy how to hold?
Yeah, like maybe Chris Cluey has nothing better to do if he loses, and so maybe he's the guy who teaches him how to hold
running
before training
office like an hour away from where I live. An hour is generous.
Sounds like a really bad Locked On episode.
He's been on the show to talk about punting. Okay, so he came on the show after. You remember when he got arrested?
Yes.
Yeah, we came on the show and talked about that.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was great. So, real quick then, let's assume that he did go into the woods and he learned how to hold and that he can go band for band with Johnny Hekker. So as a punter, this guy's supposed to be like a monster, right?
Yes. So he's got a really strong leg. He has multiple kicks over 60 plus yards, a high of 66 this year against Florida. His hang time is 4.38 seconds, which is I actually calculated this for this episode. This is the math we do on Locked On Vikings. Is league average?
I did not ask you to do this.
No,
I need people to know. You just
I did this because I was like interested, and so the average for NFL punters this season was 4.38 for eligible punters who punted more than one game this year. Because I don't care about the guy who had one punt in a random game,
like one guy who did a poop.
Yeah, but so he's right at average. For punting, for hang time, which is good because Troy Taylor brings it down, and like 2 guys are at 4.77, which is just insane hang time in general. So he's got good hang time.
NFL hang time, great distance.
My only concern is that his process, his operation time from when he grabs the snap to when it hits his toe is just too slow.
That's a huge problem.
So his is at about, I timed about 15 punts. And so this is not a large sample size by any stretch. I brought out my phone, stopwatch, and timed all these punts. This is what I do to evaluate punters.
Charlie Casterly it.
Yeah, his was about 1.4, high 1.3s. It's not too slow. But the issue is that when you get to the 1.3 level in the NFL, that's blocked punts. And for me,
that's a massive issue.
For me, blocked punts are no-nos because it's a guaranteed touchdown. I don't care if they get the ball at the 20-yard line. They're almost likely scoring from the momentum shift from the fact that they have first and 10 at the 20-yard line. And so,
everybody's all juiced up. And the 53rd guy on the team just made the play. Yeah.
Johnny Hekker, to his credit, even at 36 years old, the Unk still got it meme, he still has one of the best operations in the league. His is always under 1.2 consistently. I had some at like 1.1. Now his arm or his leg rather is like not what it used to be. We're not running any fake punts with him anymore, even though he's a pretty good athlete still. I think if Thorson got that down in the offseason, this is a real competition punting wise, but I've got to see it first. And
I'm going with Hekker on this.
I think right now, if I were to make a prediction, Johnny Hekker wins the job just because he's the vet who's got it all nailed down, and you don't have to teach him all of those things.
That makes sense to me. All right. There's a couple other guys that you were excited to talk about, whether they make the team or not. Interesting people that are going to be kind of, I think, fun preseason tape at the very least. So we'll get into those next here on Locked On Vikings. This episode of Locked On Vikings is brought to you by Rugiet. The NHL playoffs are underway, and the Minnesota Wild are still in them. Every single shift matters. Every moment is intense. All 13 goals can matter in a game. And just like performance matters on the ice, it matters off the ice too. That's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet offers treatments designed to help you get ready and stay ready when it matters most. Their top option, Rugiet Ready, combines clinically proven ingredients in a simple mint that dissolves under your tongue. It works fast, often in about 15 minutes, and can last up to 36 hours. They also offer Go Long, designed to help with both performance and control. It's all about confidence and feeling like yourself again. Head to Rugiet.com/LockedOnNHL and get 15% off of your ED treatment. That's RUGIET.com/LockedOnNFL for 15% off. Rugiet, performance medicine for men. Thanks so much for making Locked On Vikings your first listen of the day. Why don't you go check out the Locked On Vikings Everydayer Club? If you like this kind of deep dive stuff, if you appreciate the kind of podcaster that will time punt operations, consider leveling up. The Locked On Vikings Everydayer Club is $5 a month at lockedonvikings.supercast.com. You get everything we do here ad-free, plus a special Discord server where we can deep dive whatever you want. You can ping me at any time of the day. I signed up for this. So go check that out, and you get much more as well. Kevin, there is a guy that you've been dying to talk about in front of Vikings fans, and that guy is North Texas cornerback Devon Armstead. You have the floor. I'm not even going to prompt you. Go.
Look, every year I have like one insane take that gets me put in a mental hospital. 2-3 years ago, it was Najee Thompson is going to be the 53-man roster guy who no one talks about. Hey, I kind of hit there. I said Bo Richter was going to be a guy. Hit there. I did say Dallas Gant would be a guy. Dallas Gant was not a guy for the Vikings. He did win a Super Bowl.
He was not a guy.
He did win a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, he was
he
like
on
barely
the Eagles?
on, he was like barely on the roster.
Yeah, Super Bowl ring haver Dallas Gant. No, you get that one.
But Devon Armstead, man, he's kind of got it. He's one of my favorite small school watches of the year. I had a draftable grade on him. I don't give a lot of draftable grade to small school guys because, truthfully, a lot of them don't get drafted. But watching his film, man, he's got some of the best coverage tape, like, from the small school guy, period. And, like, I'm talking, like, in cover 2 flat, like, kind of dropping because you have to gain a little bit of depth, then triggering and making a play to stop a play for 2 yards. Tackling
the Duke Shelley.
Yeah, tackling
the very Brian Flores thing that all corners need to be able to do.
Like, there was one play against Lamar, which is the most sicko thing you'll ever hear from a podcast ever, where he's in like quarters and he recognizes that it's kind of a designed play to the flat for a tight end, and he just moves away from the quarters, makes a play, and the tight end is tackled. This 250-pound tight end, by the way, he's a big boy, is tackled for a yard. Like, Devon Armstead is some really fun tape athletically. I actually have like an athleticism score. He's a 65th percentile athlete. The closest comp is Trey Waynes. So shout out Trey Waynes.
Oh, baby. Okay.
We're like name dropping Trey Waynes on here. Like,
first rounder Trey Waynes.
Yes, first rounder Trey Waynes. Now, this guy, I just don't, he's not probably not an NFL corner yet. Like, we can be honest about what he is, but his athleticism, his long speed, his aggressiveness, I think Brian Flores will love it. I think Brian Flores will fall in love with this guy a week into camp, 2 weeks into camp. And I think he's got the special teams kind of cojones to be something on special teams. I think he could be a punt gunner. I think he can do some kickoff stuff. Like, I think this guy has a chance to be a core 4-teamer while also being your fifth corner, which I think makes a roster on almost any team in the NFL, especially a team like the Vikings, where we still don't really know what that cornerback room looks like.
So it's interesting because there is, like, the punt gunning is definitely something to track for all this stuff. Ty Felton's got one of those on lock. And then you had kind of a rotation last year with a bunch of different people taking that role, guys that were upped off the practice squad. Tavier Thomas had it for a bit. Jay Ward had it for a bit. He wasn't good. Like, he was probably the closest thing to, like, a person taking that job. So if somebody could show up and, like, be a gunner next to Ty Felton, hey, shoot, then it won't matter what Johnny Hecker does. Then he could shoot a bunch of line drives out there and say, you know what, screw hang time. Our punt gunners can teleport.
I think, like, Davion Armstead can be a punt gunner in the NFL, and I think his coverage is good enough to play, like, cover 2 if everyone else gets hurt, everyone else is, like, dying of the bubonic plague, and you need a corner for 1 week. Like, I think he's good enough to make a play. It would not shock me if
have a Duke Shelley-esque, hey, let's do this, put him in cover 2 all day, hide him.
Yeah, like, he can cover 2 this. You know, I think his biggest issue is his hips just aren't where they need to be consistently, which in cover 2 is not really an issue. Like, you can kind of hide that in cover 2 and, like, some deep cover 3 stuff instead of just playing the guy in man coverage all game. And so, right, like, I think that this is a cornerback 5 who is built to be a cornerback 5. He's got the size. He's got the coverage ability. He allowed 1 touchdown all year, 246 yards. He played like 800. He played like 700 snaps. Like, this is a guy who, when he gets targeted, he just makes plays on the ball. I think that this is one of those guys who surprises people when he has a good preseason game. And, you know, we're no longer talking, is he like the 70th man on the roster? We're kind of talking, can he make a fight for 53?
The other guy that maybe has an interesting thing. So I don't know if you saw the squad show on Monday where Tyler and I fought about Ivan Pace potentially getting, like, kicked off the roster over $3 million. I don't agree with him, but whatever. My take is, okay, it's going to take an undrafted rookie to do it. Somebody's got to take that job, because once you get into the preseason and camp, this is about coaches fighting for guys that they think should make the team. The cap guy takes a back seat on, you know, cut down day. And especially with somebody like Pace, that they signed him to the tender in March. Like, they already decided this offseason how they wanted to use their money. So something has to change to me. And I know you said that, like, Kelly Lawson can't be that guy, but I know you wanted to talk a little bit about maybe Scooby Williams being that guy. So what's the deal with that?
Yeah, so first of all, right, like, I think the most important thing for any undrafted episode is these guys have to take a job from someone. There's no job on the roster for them. They've got to take a job. Edge rusher, right? Like,
there were a bunch last year, and there still might be a wide receiver, like for Dillon Bell, but typically you got to knock somebody off.
Yeah, like,
and that somebody might be the undrafted dude that made it last year, right? Like, if you were a D tackle, you want to make the team, you got to knock off Elijah Williams.
Yeah, like, at edge rusher, right? Like, you have to knock off Bo Richter. You have to be better than Bo Richter to get a job.
Or better at special teams than Chaz Chambliss.
Yeah, like, you can't just be worse than those guys,
good on the kickoffs,
but have potential. He was insane at it. But on the topic of Scooby Williams, right? The biggest just concerning weird thing about it is he only played 165 snaps in 2025. There was an injury of some sort. I couldn't find what the injury was. I asked around, really couldn't find anything. But this is a guy who's 6'2", 243. He's got good size. He's not a bad athlete linearly. Now, laterally, it's kind of a mixed bag. But the thing he does well is really what Ivan Pace does well. It's the designed blitzes. It's the, hey, we're going to shoot you through the A gap. Go make a play on the ball. This is a guy who can go make a play on the ball. There's a lot of reps of him kind of destroying running backs, kind of lining up off the edge, lining up in the A gap, making plays on quarterbacks. And I think that's something that if you're going to displace Ivan Pace on this roster, that's something you have to do, because that's something Brian Flores loves to do with his linebackers. And you have to be able to play the Brian Flores linebacker role. The thing that I think he might be better than Ivan Pace at is coverage, because I think that he can he has a really good understanding of zone drops. He has a really good understanding of where he needs to be. His athleticism can kind of put him down a little bit. He's just not a terrific athlete, even if he's just a good athlete. But there's enough stuff, I think, on defense that from that perspective alone, he may just be around Ivan Pace, and it's now the special teams issue. I think that's where it may just be an issue for Scooby Williams, because I think Ivan Pace is a really good special teamer.
He's the most important player on the kickoff coverage
he's a really good kickoff coverage guy. He's the punt personal protector. Now that may change this year depending on what the running back room looks like, what another position looks like, but he has a role on teams. And so Scooby Williams has to come in here, take that role on teams,
or take multiple roles. He's got to beat him at all. He's got to Yahtzee all the jobs,
while also being good enough on defense, because Ivan Pace is going to have defensive snaps this year. And so I think that's kind of the biggest holdup. But it would not shock me if, just because of his football IQ, his ability to blitz, his kind of versatility in that sense, that there's a competition there that Scooby Williams potentially wins. And if it's not now, right, maybe it's a couple weeks into the year if Ivan Pace is struggling, or at the end of the year when Ivan Pace's contract has expired. I'm kind of with you. This is not going to be a cap space move. This is going to be is Scooby Williams better than Ivan Pace move, which the film shows things that I think he's better than. It's the special teams for me that, I just don't know if he's better on special teams. We'll see when camp starts.
And with a lot of these guys, spend a year on the practice squad. Ivan Pace goes off into the wilderness. His tender is up. You don't want to pay him real money. Now Scooby Williams has a path.
Yeah, in a year Ivan Pace is on the Colts, and so Scooby Williams is now important because Ivan Pace is no longer on the team.
We don't have to do that to the Colts. All right. But hey, so we've only talked about 4 of these. There's 19 of them. So you have at least 5 words for everybody else. I'm excited to get to learn what you came up with next on Locked On Vikings. This episode of Locked On Vikings is brought to you by BetterHelp. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's an important reminder that whatever you're carrying right now, you don't have to go through it alone. Life can feel overwhelming, whether it's stress, uncertainty, anxiety, or just trying to manage everything on your plate. And it's easy to feel like you need to figure it out by yourself. Therapy can be a place to get support, gain perspective, and talk things through with someone who's there to listen and help. BetterHelp connects people with licensed therapists and makes it easier to get matched with someone who fits your needs and goals. Very crucially, if you don't like the therapist that you get matched with by BetterHelp, you can go switch at no additional charge, and I highly recommend you make use of that feature. It can take a couple of tries to get to the right person that has the right rapport with you, and you shouldn't just go with the first person you meet just because they're the first person you meet if the vibe isn't right. You don't have to be on this journey alone. Find support and have somebody with you in therapy. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/lockedon. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedon. All right, Kevin, moving on here with Locked On Vikings. 15 free agents left, and we need a word, or we need at least 5. You said you had 5 to 7 words. I did say 5 words. I was thinking 5 words or less, but you went 5 words or more. I guess look, it's fine.
For some of these guys, there's 3 words, and so it kind of does. We'll end up kind of
so we just didn't really embrace the challenge of this at all.
No, I never do. I just kind of do my own thing. Look, if I'm the only one watching 19 UDFAs like a psychopath, I'm gonna kind of make my own rules sometimes.
That is true. I guess you have that leverage on me in that you can do whatever you want. Because what am I gonna do? Tell you you're not doing this anymore and ask someone else to watch 19 undrafted? Okay, so. Let's just throw it out there. Luke Weissong, wide receiver, Arizona.
Podcaster build, but good athlete.
Cool. Arden Walker, linebacker, outside linebacker, Colorado.
I said jack of all trades, master of none of them.
Okay. I feel like you could have made that 5 words.
Yeah,
but there was a way. There's an of them in there. That's completely
so
unnecessary.
it gets. I mean, that gets to 6. So we're still not at 5, but 6 is probably better than the 8 that I had.
Better than 8. Goodness. Jacob Thomas, safety. James Madison.
Perfect Brian Flores safety.
Okay. This is one I did want to hear. In what way?
Incredibly versatile. Can play free safety, slot corner. In the box. Really good at tackling. Really good at kind of fitting the run from deep. Can't play in coverage, which is the reason why I don't know if he makes the 53-man roster.
That's important for a safety.
Dude, there were some reps in there where he's just like flat-footed and the receiver just like runs a post behind him and it's like a 60-yard post. I'm like, man, you could have tried something to like
I thought he transferred somewhere after so was he in that James Madison Miami game, that playoff game that was like a blowout?
Yeah, James Madison Oregon, he was in that game.
Oregon.
He wasn't that bad in that game. Again, so some bad coverage reps in that game, and so probably the reason why he won't make the 53 immediately.
Marcus Allen, cornerback, North Carolina.
Good athlete, really bad tackler.
Nope. All right, that's not going to do it. Tyreek, I'll say Chappelle?
I think. Chappelle, yeah. I said former freshman All-American who never put it together.
Monkel Goodwine, D-line, South Carolina.
First of all, awesome name, not a part of the 5 words, but awesome swim move, can't take on a double team.
We did Marcus Sanders? No, we didn't. Marcus Sanders, wide receiver, Georgia Southern.
3 words, contested catch demon.
Oh, no. Contested catch demon at a small school, so he couldn't separate at Georgia Southern?
He can't separate at Georgia Southern, but man, he's going to... But Luke, he's going to turn every 50-50 ball into a 70-30 ball at your advantage if he can beat a press eventually.
Okay, I need one preseason fade over someone's like cornerback 9. Over some 5'9" idiot that also came out of like that wasn't draftable because he's too podcastery, and somehow we get him lined up outside.
In my legal notes, which you get access to my Johnny Hecker Brett Thorson comparison, which I did not finish on there. I actually just ended up putting it in a spreadsheet because I'm not a normal
if you're
human.
Listening, you've got to come back to YouTube for that. That was.
But there on my notes for Marcus Sanders, there's a part that's just like going to have a good preseason play that makes me really happy.
that everyone's gonna make him like put him on their 53s over like the one play, even though it's just horrible for the rest of it.
Yes, exactly.
Thomas Rimac, O-line, Virginia Tech.
Versatile. I said versatile, legit athleticism, bad upper body.
That could be a package that competes with like a Joe Huber, because we just talked about how he's played 4 different positions. And right now Joe Huber is penciled into a depth spot, so like it's open.
My prediction is that of the offensive linemen they signed 3 of them. Thomas Rymac's the most NFL ready in terms of like if I needed him to play a game now, he's the one I feel most comfortable about.
Speaking of Tristan Lay, tackle Clemson, who they gave $275K to guaranteed.
Roller coaster player with some really rough reps. He may have robbed the Minnesota Vikings.
he may have robbed Vikings. That's 5.
Yes.
That's all you needed. Delby Lemieux, O-line, Dartmouth.
Can't play tackle. Might be a center.
Okay. Only one running back, Keyshawn Owens.
I quoted Miley Cyrus for this one. He came in like a wrecking ball.
Wait, that rules. Yes, that's what I want in my undrafted rookie running back.
He is going again. Preseason prediction: he's going to run some like Northwest Oklahoma Tech linebacker over in space, and we're all going to be like on Twitter going, "Oh my god, that was the coolest play of all time."
Okay, I'm very jazzed for the preseason fantasy draft. I might have to get in on that in the squad show, because we have a long and storied history of like running back 6 in the preseason becoming a phenom. And that guy has like made the team like a lot. It was Xavier Scott last year. It was Mike Boone and Rock Thomas. 2 undrafted rookies made the team. This was like 10 years ago. Had like a big thing with AJ Rose, who everybody thought should make the team. They didn't find room for him, but he had a cool like that guy becomes fan favorite a lot. I think I have a couple left. Shalik Punch Knotts, wide receiver, Maryland.
Not a part of the 5 words. Great nickname. One of the better nicknames and names in this list.
Yeah. Unless you're an Omegaverse kind of person. If you're over 40, don't Google that.
I said Good size, really bad route running.
Built like a receiver, but bad at it. Cool. And I think the last one we have here is Kelly Lawson, linebacker, Central Florida. Oh, no, we have one more.
There's a few more. I think you still have 2 more after this. But
I went completely out of order on my thing. So
I know the last 2, so I could just kind of rattle them off.
Okay.
Kelly Lawson, built like Gumby, can't play football.
Can't play football. You DM'd me while watching this guy, and you're like, how is this guy getting a chance in the NFL? So that's probably not the dude.
Look, if the Minnesota Timberwolves need like a 3-and-D wing on short notice to like go defend Victor Wembanyama for half a possession, he might be your guy, and he's in town. Now, he's just not a football player yet. He needs practice time or practice squad time more than like anyone on this list because the instincts are just kind of not there yet. But he's athletic, he's long, he's lengthy. Come back to me in a year and I'll tell you what I think about him, I think.
Maybe just needs it. And that's the kind of guy that maybe makes a practice squad slot.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Botello, outside linebacker, Notre Dame.
Reliable run defender, no pass rush plan.
That's the kind of thing that can get you some favor, especially in a preseason context. Who did I forget?
You're missing Temple Edge Cameron Stewart.
Oh, he's just not on the list. All right, Temple
I
Edge,
said
Cameron.
I said bull in a china shop. Some of the
Bull
best
in a china shop.
One of the best motors I've seen of like an undrafted free agent. Really
Ooh, I'm gonna love him.
really athletic. He's going to have some really fun plays because he's going to chase a guy down. He's just too small right now.
He's going to dredge up Chop Robinson feelings for me.
Yeah. Again, another guy who can't stack and shed, kind of like Chop Robinson. So you got your Chop Robinson.
I got him. Amazing. All right. I told listeners, but I did the people were asking like, why didn't you watch like the D tackles in the draft as much? I took this year off of D-line because of Chop Robinson. I put myself in straight up timeout.
So what people don't understand for quick context is like all season while Chop Robinson was struggling, I was like DMing him like, hey man, I just hope you know he's bad. I just hope you know he's bad.
My face so bad. So I've paid my penance. Okay, I've repaid my debt to society, and this needs to be resolved.
But Luke, if he's good this year, you now get to rub it in my face again.
Oh, absolutely. If he actually like puts something together now that like Bradley Chubb's out of the way, if he's good and Dallas Turner is good, I might just ascend. I might just like the AIs in her. I might just be gone from this mortal coil. Okay, we've completely gone off the rails. I will talk to you all tomorrow, and as always, Skull.